Blake and Brian, New American Media, live in Minnesota.
Minneapolis, to
As
be
you can tell.
specific. And we woke up, took a look at the news. Follow us on Facebook, The New American Media, YouTube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, on Twitter at American_media_, Instagram.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. And we found out that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class has been announced. We know who's going in, and here we go. Let's tear through them real quick. Nile Rodgers. Thoughts?
Interesting character, was in some good disco music, talented guitarist, also did some other things, so he's not really there as part of him as a musician necessarily. He's more of an all-encompassing thing, but is an interesting character.
Daft Punk, Up All Night to Get Lucky.
Right.
That's him on guitar. It's a very distinct sound. What about Electric Light Orchestra? That's how big of a fan I am. I really
just heard
don't
about
care
him
for
a few hours ago, right?
No, I'm familiar they've existed. I've just never cared. Nothing I've heard from them has ever really got me riled up. But you are a fan.
Well, they don't get played a lot. I'm not saying I have their albums or anything like that, but they have a lot of really good songs, and I'm surprised you don't hear them more. They're a little cheesy, sort of orchestrated disco-ish rock. It's very interesting. You should check them out if you have.
What about Yes?
Talented musicians, only one good song that I really like, Owner of a Lonely Heart. That was in their later days after, I don't know, the vocalist, after his voice deepened perhaps. I was not a big fan of the 70s music. I didn't like his...
Owner of a Lonely Heart is a cool song.
Yeah.
And I don't know too much of their
very
other stuff
talented
either.
musically, but yeah.
Joan Baez. Her, I will say that's more of, at least to me, as I went through her hits, more of a Lifetime Achievement Award. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm missing a big swath of her catalog. But I think it's more of a Lifetime Achievement Award for, 60s hippies that participated in Woodstock.
Yeah, it was a diverse group, and maybe she belongs. She was also an activist. She's kind of a Bob Dylan-ish, kind of folksy, hippie music during that era. In fact, covered some of Bob Dylan's songs. So, interesting. Played at Woodstock. Beautiful voice, but not really my kind of music.
Journey. Speaking of not your kind of music, you referred to them as what, Blake?
The Nickelback of the 70s.
Very
Really
unfair.
is.
Very unfair. When I think of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think, do I know what I'm listening to? Can I sing it? Can I hum along? Do I get a bunch of the words wrong, but I kind of know it? Come on, Don't Stop Believin'. Come on.
A lot of great songs. They deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. They have a lot of great music, a great library. I just find them cheesy. I mean, Nickelback probably has some really catchy tunes, too. There's nothing wrong. People are going to be singing Nickelback at karaoke bars in 20 years.
I doubt that. The Wheel in the Sky Keeps on Turning.
That's their best song, I think.
It's one of their best songs. Now, Tupac. This is the one we're all wanting to know. Should Tupac be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yes or no, Blake?
Yes, only because there's other people other rap artists that are in there also. Otherwise, I'd say maybe not.
Okay, if you can't tell, I'm a Cleveland Cavalier fan. LeBron James is a great basketball player, but does he deserve to be in Cooperstown? He's not a baseball player. I don't really understand what he's doing in Cooperstown. He's a basketball player. So Tupac did a lot of songs that I can sing along to, a very recognizable figure from the past 25 years. But is he a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guy? I don't see it. So we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Talented musician, deserves recognition, maybe in a music Hall of Fame. Rock and roll, that's where it's a tough area. So
look,
debatable.
I understand the rock and roll lifestyle. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to say what I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's pretty gangster. That is
culture.
That's what rock and roll is, though. Rock and roll is, it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You're going to go out and you're going to party.
Part of
You're
our
going to have a
culture
good
that I
time.
think we
It was
need
terrible.
to evolve from, but I mean, it was interesting, and he was a representation of that, and it's very creative music, but it's almost hard to listen to because of all the violence and the language. It takes you back, and it's
Well, and then I would say the major act to get in this year, Pearl Jam, a band I used to cover. We used to do Yellow Ledbetter. We used to do a whole bunch of different songs. Black. The bands that I was in, we loved playing. In Immortality, one of my favorite songs. So here's some of my favorites from Pearl Jam. Last Kiss, Immortality, that's one we always played out. Yellow Ledbetter, the song we always played out, that was a cover. I'm sorry, that was like a B-side. Last Kiss was the cover. even flow Garden, the last song on Pearl Jam 10, or the second to last song, whatever it is. No, last song. Awesome, and Indifference on verses. Some of my favorite Pearl Jam stuff. Congratulations, I think you deserve it. But this guy, not necessarily the biggest fan.
Right, they 100% deserve to be in there. Very talented band, a lot of good music. I just wasn't a big fan back in the day. It took me a little while to warm up to some of the alternative music, even though I did really like, Nirvana and Soundgarden. But I was more of a heavy metal guy. Just it didn't take. Later on, I appreciated Pearl Jam more. I do like that Last Kiss song. I thought that was the only good song for a while. And I joke because that was one they didn't actually write. But there's a few other ones. Plus, they're fun to play. If you've got Guitar Hero Rock Band, they're a blast to play. So I do respect their music.
And in a nutshell, Blake, your thoughts on their other side project, Temple of the Dog, Hunger Strike specifically?
One of the worst songs ever. If I had a top 10 for the worst songs, of all time, to me, where I didn't understand why people liked that. Like, how do you like that song? It's so awful, and so many people really love it.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like that whole album a lot. But we can agree to disagree.
Like Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell. Okay, so really quick as we wrap this up, the year in rock, Leonard Cohen passed away and Prince passed away.
I hope we're going to miss some names. Yeah,
David Bowie. We're going to miss names. Just a couple off the top of our heads. We didn't really put a whole list together, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame came out with their list, and we wanted to give you some of our thoughts on them. Tupac, should he be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't know, yes, no.
Yes, only because unless he was the first. If he was it was controversial and he was the first hip hop artist, then maybe I would say something. But I think it's just been turned into that. Even though it should be more of a rock and roll thing, it's turned into a music thing. But maybe it should.
It kind of has turned into a music hall of fame. So if we're thinking in that philosophy that this is more of just a music in general hall of fame, although then it should be called pop or popular music. If we're thinking that route, fine. But I'm not really thinking that route. I'm still waiting for Grand Funk Railroad to get in. Believe that. So that's all I got. We're going to be coming to you in January at NAMM. What, Blake?
Yes. Other question for people to want to answer. If you could see any of those bands back in their prime, see a live performance by any of those Hall of Fame inductees, who would it be and why?
Joan Baez, I'd go to Woodstock.
That doesn't, if that counts. But I don't think
I'm making it count.
See, what if you just go see Joan Baez and you have to leave?
That's not Woodstock.
Then you can't see Jimi Hendrix.
Do you get to see the show, or
Right.
I would go to Woodstock.
That's not fair.
Fine, say that. Then, for the sake of this argument, we're going to assume that Joan Baez one concert of Woodstock can't be what we're talking about. Right. Who would I like to see? I'd like to see Pearl Jam. I still didn't look up the video. I think it's Even Flow, where Eddie's climbing up into the rafters. And he gets up there, and then he stage dives off the whole crowd takes him away, like a black and white video. I would like to be at that concert. That would be fun.
That would be good. I think I'd have to see Electric Light Orchestra. I really like their music. They put on the big shows. It was kind of back in that day, and I think that would be really awesome. Although the Journey concert would also be good. Not that I like their music, but it would be a good chance to maybe get laid, for sure. Late 70s,
ladies love their Journey.
The girls love that stuff. So that would be fun, just maybe to go to meet women outside of that.
And I think your chances of meeting a significant other would increase drastically if you went to Woodstock in 1969.
Oh, absolutely.
But you're saying that's not included.
I don't know if that counts.
But
if anyone else, well, you could weigh in on what you think would be right.
Yeah. Which concert would you go to? Which of these bands or performers would you like to go see? I'm going to avoid the Tupac concert. I'm not going to wear a flak jacket. I'm good. But what I was going to say a second ago is that we're going to be at NAMM again, the NAMM Music Convention, Anaheim, California, in January, coming up real soon. So we're going to get you more information. Follow us, The New American Media, all over the place. And we hope to talk to you again soon. Tupac, yes or no? Which of these artists would you like to see a concert of live? Let us know. Peace!